Hey everyone, welcome to this deep dive. Today we're tackling self-doubt.
Self-doubt, yeah, it's everywhere. But we don't really talk about it much.
Especially in business. You
Yeah,
know, it's almost like you're supposed to have it all figured out.
exactly. And that can make it even tougher to deal with.
But we're not just going to like tiptoe around it today.
No way, we're gonna dive deep.
We're going to give you the tools to actually flip that self-doubt.
Yeah.
Make it work for you, not against you.
Because here's the thing. It can be a powerful tool if you know how to use it.
Okay, so think about it. You're about to launch a new project, something you've been working on for months.
You've poured your heart and soul into it.
And suddenly, bam, self-doubt hits.
That hesitation starts to creep in.
You start questioning every decision.
Or maybe even avoiding those big moments altogether.
It's the worst.
Mhm.
But what if I told you that self-doubt isn't always a bad thing?
Right. There's this thing called the optimal anxiety zone.
Meaning a little bit of doubt can actually help you perform better.
Keeps you on your toes, makes you strive for improvement. So the goal isn't to eliminate self-doubt completely.
That's probably impossible anyway.
It's more about learning how to manage it and even use it to your advantage.
And that starts with figuring out where it's coming from.
Like, is it tied to past experiences or maybe a lack of confidence in a specific skill?
Could even be something deeper like imposter syndrome.
Oh, imposter syndrome. That's a big one, especially for entrepreneurs.
It's that feeling like you're a fraud, even when you've achieved incredible things.
It's like you're going to get found out at any moment.
And it's more common than you think. Research shows over 70% of people experience it.
Wow. So how do we even begin to unravel this self-doubt knot?
One powerful tool is self-reflection.
But not just like random thinking.
Right. It has to be structured and focused.
Okay, so give us the specifics. How do we make self-reflection actionable?
Well, journaling is a great starting point.
Just like 10 minutes a day.
Yeah. Write down your thoughts and feelings about those self-doubt moments.
Ask yourself what triggered them. What were you afraid of?
And look for patterns in your entries.
Like, do you doubt yourself most when trying something new or maybe when you're about to receive feedback?
Those are valuable insights.
It's like those doubts are trying to tell us something.
Exactly. They're signals pointing towards areas for growth.
This is mind-blowing. So instead of being afraid of self-doubt,
We can use it as a guide to understand ourselves better.
I love that. And once we understand it,
We can start to address it head on.
and ultimately unlock our full potential. This is incredible.
We've only just scratched the surface.
In the next part of this deep dive,
We'll explore specific tactics for turning those self-doubt signals into fuel for growth.
we'll talk about building confidence, reframing failure, and creating a support network that truly empowers you.
So stay tuned. We're just getting warmed up.
We'll be right back after the break.
All right, we're back. And in that first part, we really got into the nitty-gritty of self-doubt
Yeah, understanding where it comes from, that's key.
and how it's not always a bad thing.
Right. A little anxiety can actually be good. It can push us to do better. So how do we actually build confidence?
Well, there's this concept called the confidence-competence cycle.
Confidence, competence cycle. Okay, break that down for me.
It's pretty simple. The more competent you become at something, the more confident you feel doing it, and the more confident you feel, the more likely you are to take on new challenges.
So it's like a positive feedback loop.
Exactly. Confidence and competence, they feed off each other.
But where do you even start if you're already struggling with self-doubt?
That's where micromastery comes in.
Micromastery.
Yeah, instead of trying to master a whole skill at once, focus on one small piece.
Okay, so break it down into bite-sized chunks.
Exactly. Let's say you're terrified of public speaking.
Oh, yeah. That's a common one.
Instead of jumping into a huge course, start by recording yourself giving a 1-minute presentation.
To an imaginary audience.
Right. Just get comfortable with the basics.
And each small win builds your confidence.
It reinforces that cycle.
I like that. But let's be honest. Even with all the confidence in the world, we're going to face setbacks.
Failure is part of the game.
And it can be a huge blow to our confidence.
The key is to reframe failure as feedback.
Feedback.
Yeah. Instead of seeing it as a personal defeat, look at it as data.
Data. Interesting.
Ask yourself, what can I learn from this? What adjustments can I make?
So take the emotion out of it.
Exactly. Look at it objectively, like a scientist analyzing an experiment.
And some of the most successful businesses,
They were built on failures.
like James Dyson, he created thousands of prototypes before perfecting his vacuum cleaner.
He never gave up. He saw each failure as a learning opportunity.
That's inspiring. So failure isn't the opposite of success.
It's often a stepping stone.
Okay, we've talked about reframing failure. But we can't do this alone.
You need a support system.
People who believe in you.
Mentors, colleagues, friends, family. They can offer encouragement and perspective.
Sometimes you just need someone to remind you of your strengths.
Right, and to celebrate your successes.
So how do you build that support network?
It takes effort. Be proactive. Join industry groups. Go to networking events. Reach out to people you admire.
Put yourself out there.
Exactly. And remember, it's a two-way street.
You got to give support too.
Build a community of mutual encouragement.
Okay, so we've covered a lot. Confidence, competence cycle, reframing, failure support systems. Now for something a little different.
Oh, I think I know where you're going.
Positive affirmations.
Yes. It might sound cheesy, but it really works.
The way we talk to ourselves, it has a huge impact on our mindset.
Negative self-talk.
Yeah.
It can be so destructive.
It's like creating our own mental roadblocks.
But positive affirmations, they can help dismantle those roadblocks.
It's about choosing to focus on our strengths and our accomplishments.
And repeating those positive statements until we believe them.
So how do we make it feel genuine? Not just like repeating empty phrases.
Choose phrases that resonate with you and really feel them.
Put emotion behind them.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And repetition is key. The more you repeat them, the more you'll start to believe them.
Like rewiring our brains for positivity.
Any practice this.
Write down a few affirmations and put them somewhere visible. Like on your mirror or your desk.
All right. Little reminders throughout the day.
Okay, I'm starting to see how powerful this can be. So we're weaving these positive messages into our lives.
Creating a constant stream of self-belief.
I love it. We've covered so much today.
We've built a whole toolkit for dealing with self-doubt.
Confidence, competence cycle, reframing failure, support systems, positive self-talk.
It's all about taking control of your mindset.
And choosing to focus on your strengths.
And remember, this is a journey.
There will be ups and downs.
But you have the tools to navigate them.
Are you ready for the final part of our deep dive?
I can't wait. We're going to explore even more advanced strategies for unlocking your full potential.
Stay tuned because it's going to be good. All right, we're back for the final part of our deep dive into self-doubt. We've talked about so much already.
We have. From understanding where it comes from, to reframing failure, building a support network, positive affirmations.
I know, right? It's been a lot, but it's all super important stuff.
Absolutely. And building on that idea of positive self-talk, there's this technique called cognitive behavioral therapy, or CBT.
CBT, that sounds pretty intense.
So it's not as scary as it sounds.
So it's something we can actually use in our daily lives.
Definitely, CBT is all about recognizing and challenging those negative thoughts.
The ones that feed our self-doubt.
Exactly. And one technique is called thought recording.
Thought recording. What's that?
You write down those negative thoughts, analyze them, and come up with counter-arguments.
So you're basically putting those thoughts on trial.
Yeah, kind of.
Oh.
Like, okay, thought. What evidence do you have to back this up?
And a lot of times those thoughts.
They're based on assumptions or fears that aren't even true.
Right, it's like our brains are playing tricks on us.
And by writing them down, we can start to see them more objectively.
This is really interesting. So we're taking back control of our minds.
Choosing to focus on thoughts that serve us.
Not the ones that hold us back.
Exactly.
But what about those moments when the self-doubt just won't quit, no matter what we do?
Well, that's where visualization comes in.
Visualization, like picturing ourselves succeeding.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It sounds simple, but it's incredibly powerful.
Because our brains.
They can't always tell the difference between what's real and what we imagine.
So if we visualize success...
we're more likely to achieve it.
And how do we do that effectively?
Make it vivid. Engage all your senses. See yourself in the situation. Feel the emotions. Hear the sounds.
So it's like creating a mental movie.
A highlight reel of your success.
I love that. And the more we practice it...
the stronger those neural pathways for confidence become.
Okay, so next time I'm facing a challenge...
close your eyes. Visualize yourself crushing it.
Got it. And you know what else can help?
Our physical presence.
You mean like power poses?
Not necessarily, but just standing tall, making eye contact, projecting our voice.
It's like faking it till you make it.
In a way. But those external cues, they can actually shift our internal state.
Wow. We've covered so much in this deep dive.
We have. It's been quite a journey.
We've talked about reframing thoughts, building a support network.
The confidence-competence cycle. Positive self-talk, visualization, body language.
It's a whole arsenal of tools to conquer self-doubt.
And remember, self-doubt is normal. It's part of being human.
Especially when we're pushing ourselves.
The key is to not let it control you.
Acknowledge it and then move forward anyway.
Because often self-doubt.
It's a sign that we're on the right track.
That we're stretching ourselves and growing.
So embrace it, learn from it, and use it to fuel your success.
You are capable of amazing things. We believe in you.
Thank you for joining us on this deep dive into conquering self-doubt.
We hope you've gained some valuable insights.
And that you're ready to go out there and achieve your dreams.
Remember, you got this.
Until next time, take care.